Welcome to Biscuit Tin RPG, everybody. We're back with Red to Black. It has been a long time. Apologies on that. Have had a lot of things going on, moving, etc. But we are and should be back to our normal schedule until December sometime. Um, so thank you for coming back. Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and do some house cleaning. On the 18th, I'm going to have a little small mini event at a local cafe where I will be vending. But also, that is the release date. The 10/18 of this month, I will be releasing the PDF version of First Gate, The Legend of the Shroud. So if you haven't looked into it, you absolutely should. You can go to biscuit10rpg.com, and as soon as it's available, it will show up. You can also uh, follow me on DriveThruRPG, and it will alert you, I believe, when a new title comes out as well. There will be a little special there for anybody that's already purchased from DriveThruRPG. I'll send out a little discount, so to speak, on some other stuff. So with the housekeeping done, let's go ahead and go back and do a short recap from Red to Black Session 6. We rejoined the crew at the Enduring Threshold, where, as you would expect, Kelsier decides everything she agreed to is nonsense and just zips off into a shadow, and Janos decides to head out into the fields and find the Legionnaires' camp. Riva is contacted by her people, asking her to find her friends to asking her and her friends to go out into the fields and do some recon on the new arrivals. Before she can bring it up to the party, some have already decided to forgo the battlefield, wandering, at least for the time being, and even with Riva's insistence, the time for recon will have to wait until the following day after Valau's little gala. Riva and Augustine met an old friend while looking for some clothes to wear and agreed to do them a favor. Issa got tricked into touching a shard of divinity, and Rosina and Icarus had a run in with a very old friend. We pick back up with the party separated and just trying to get their shit together while waiting for the shepherd's feast that will be happening in a few days. So, to bring everyone else up to speed and make sure that we're all on the same page. Right now, Augustine and Riva are currently waiting for approximately 30 minutes or so before they have been invited into Valau's chambers to do whatever that means. Currently, Issa, you are in the marketplace. Rosina and Icarus, I would assume that you both, having had your conversation, will both be walking out of the temple and headed wherever you would like, whether that be shopping or what have you. So, in the order of what I see on my screen here, we're going to go ahead and start with Rosina and Icarus. What are you two going to be doing? I will start with Icarus because you're on top in this image show that I have.
Hmm, sounds about right for Icarus. Um, Icarus is going to turn to Rosina and just say, "Well, wanna see me shove some pieces of a dead god into my head or whatever actually happens with these shards?"
What? I mean, I sure. I think we need to go shopping for the event, but also yes.
Yeah, I just want to get this over with before I forget or get attacked or, um, I was gonna say life
Y-
happens to us, but we're dead, so
Do you need a sitter or a spotter or whatever we call it to make sure you don't die?
I mean, that'd be appreciated. The last time I did this, Augustine and Riva just kind of stared at me, and then I think Augustine used me as a footstool when I collapsed on my face. So,
Oh,
the bar is kind of low.
okay.
Uh,
Well, yeah, let's do it.
I
All
assume
right.
there's a park or something nearby.
Yes. So in the center of this walkway where you find yourself with all these temples, there's a large wisteria tree that is kind of the pivotal center of the Sunless Crossing and therefore Nox Valar itself. So there's a few park benches. You see some very strange people, but as soon as you start to walk towards one of the park benches, they scurry away, kind of wandering off, uh, kind of almost suspiciously so.
What was that about?
I don't know. I half expected one of them to yell at me about his territory or something. But anyway, I take out the two shards I have, and if Icarus remembers right, Inverse said to do one at a time, so I don't destroy myself.
I mean, if that's the route you're going with, yeah.
And
So,
then yeah, I'm gonna.
all right, so you pull out both shards. They're both covered in a leather binding. Um, as you unwrap the first one and your fingers slide across the crystalline surface, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Wisdom save. That's a 19.
All right. Yes, so your head floods with more information. This time you actually get not just pieces of your own past, but this happens to be the one that you had received from Invars himself, and you actually see um, kind of a fast forward of what happened with Invars. Invars approaching a battlefield, unknowing that he was about to be ambushed. You see a fast forward of his death as he's surrounded by foes, and you see that he finds himself in the same ashen fields that you had awoken in. But rather than heading towards the city, he headed towards the storm itself. And as you see him enter the storm, you feel the shock of electric, like just intense electricity course through your body as you walk into this whirlwind of a hurricane that surrounds the Sunless Crossing itself, and you come back to your senses. All in all, for Rosina, what you see his body go rigid and start convulsing for literally like maybe 5 seconds, and then it just goes back to normal as his eyes went rolled back in his head, and then he flutters a little bit and he comes back to his senses.
Are you all right?
I think I understand Inbars a little better now. You know, back when we were partying together, we always thought he was just crazy, but no, he has a just deep instinct that when he sees something that looks like the end of the world, he runs straight at it.
That sounds like him.
And from I think I can guess that there are more of these shards in the storm in what lies outside the Sunless Crossing. So I may be exploring some day, night. What do you call this time span in the Sunless Crossing? God, my afterlife is weird.
Yeah. So you know what the shard gives you. So you have access to that now. Are you planning on doing the third one?
Yep,
Okay. So,
another.
um, yep, you slowly unravel the third shard that you've had in your possession. Um, this one is significantly bigger um, than the others. This is the one that you were given by Biscuit. Um, as you unroll it, it has a faint scent of a well-maintained kitchen. Um, And as your hands graze across once again the crystalline surface, I need you to make yet another wisdom save.
Okay. That's a 9.
So the flashes are insanity to you. You're not quite sure what to make of it. The flashes that are in front of your eyes kind of go too fast, but you smell various food items and cooking ingredients as all of your senses are overwhelmed at the same time. Um, and due to the fact that you weren't able to make that save, you find yourself in pitch black. Rosina, Icarus has passed out and is currently laying there, and will be for about 10 minutes. So, um, we'll go ahead and let that wear off while we head over to Issa. Issa, you are still in the marketplace. Where are you headed now?
I mean, I kind of just got my shit rocked by Biscuit, surprising no one. Um, I'm gonna go back to my rooms and just chill.
Okay. All right. So you wander through. Nobody harasses you. The only thing that you do find strange is you keep hearing this twittering, but sounds like much larger. I'm not sure what the hell sound pigeons make off the top of my head. That's what you hear. You hear like a whole bunch of them, just kind of
Cool.
in the background. And tweet, tweet, caca, caca, something along those
Wow.
lines.
They
Okay.
coo, dingus.
Hey, cool. Pigeons have acoustics.
Oh, well, you hear a lot of acoustics around you. There we go. So you hear it, at first it's like you hear a coo and it seems odd, but combining that with the knowledge of the fact that there shouldn't be animals here, like it's just outside of the very few that are very intelligent and somehow have managed to gain a soul, you haven't seen any animals in here. But you look around and you find that there are these just pigeons, like kind of gathering on the tops of buildings, and it's odd. So other than that, your trip back to your abode is uneventful.
Are they all watching or are they just kind of hanging out?
They're just hanging out. They're cooing, being groovy. I mean, they're pooping on a lot of stuff. You do see that there are some townsfolk like kind of like sticking their head out windows and trying to smack them with brooms. There are a few that get killed and then get absorbed into the land, but there's a ton of them, and you're not sure where they're coming from.
I mean, I've been here 2 days. For all I know, this is objectively normal. All right.
Mhm. All right. So you make it back to your abode. Do you have any other plans with what you're going to do as Issa?
Not that I can think of. Like,
Because you've already garnered your outfit for the shepherd's feast.
yeah. I mean, at
Okay,
some point, I'll probably ask Riva and Augustine's opinion, but they also have stuff going on before that.
got it.
So,
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to Augustine and Riva. You are currently just I would say puttering around or meandering. This is your time to come up with whatever plan that you have in dealing with Valau. Um, it's about 15 or so minutes later. One of the people that were in her cadre that didn't seem particularly, like, please notice me, walks up to you, and it doesn't take long for you to realize that this is kind of her manservant, as it were. And he walks up and goes, I have been bid to guide you to Valau's chambers. So if you would be so kind as to follow me, I will lead you there. So I will give you like a minute here or so. If you haven't already come up with a plan, now's the time. Otherwise, we'll just kind of walk, and if you talk along the way, that's also fine. All
I
right.
think Rio's having technical difficulties.
Oh
Uh,
no.
There we go. I'm back. My
Yes.
problems. Do you are we trying to get her hair, or are we just getting hair that she has? Do you
I-
remember?
Hers.
Either way, do you have any kind of plan?
Sort of. I I don't know if it'll work, but it's I'm sort of just going to make it up as I go along. I have a loose plan.
Okay, that I'm willing to support here. It almost never works out the way we ever want it to. It just in personal experience.
I know
And
that, but
I'm like imagining that you want to have this woman to be on your good side.
yes, very much so. Hmm,
Like,
I could just ask her. I I could
how
literally
chill do you
tell
think he's
her
gonna be
that
about taking some hair? Does she seem like the type of person that's like fine with it?
maybe as like a keepsake or something.
Uh, so the plan is you go in and you're like, you know, I love you so much that I want a little bit of hair to remember you by.
No, I think I will throw my darling brother under the bus for the adoration bit.
Okay. So it's my brother would love a piece of hair. Did he have it?
Well, I know that is why he actually wants it. He may be her biggest fan. I don't know.
Okay, so let's imagine that doesn't work. Then what?
Well,
I could like cut the piece off and run, but it feels a bit risky.
or we could try to make it so one of us is alone in the chambers and then pull some from her bed.
Uh,
So to help you with your planning, both of you make intelligence checks.
we're gonna go well.
Uh, yeah, just a flat intelligence.
It's
Okay.
not my worst score.
It's a 12 minus 1.
All right.
That's a 13.
Okay. So Riva, you're kind of like just touching on it, like it's just right there, and you think of it. Augustine, you think about it as you're talking about this plan. You go, wait, we're we're s- we're spirits. We don't have physical hair. So the plan of trying to cut it and run from her head obviously wouldn't work. You're not an actual physical entity so much as you are a spiritual entity given form. Um, there's the physical hair, as your brother alluded to, is somewhere in her chambers.
She got some hair somewhere. Mhm.
So then the backup plan is we find a way for one of us to be alone in there and search for the hair.
Okay. I could maybe ask for a. That's not gonna get her out though. I could try to get her out. You're gonna be better at looking for things than me, I think.
I wonder
You have a
if
way to
she
get
has
out
a,
after one leaves? Like if I get her out, do you have a way to like teleport out of the room?
Oh, I don't think that will be an issue if you can just get her to focus on you and have a moment alone with you.
As
Oh,
this
okay.
conversation's happening, right as you finish, oh, okay, that is when her manservant walks up. And bids you follow him to Valau's chambers.
Augustine like gives Riva a look that's like, I guess that's the best plan we have, silently, and follows the manservant.
All right.
It takes a few minutes to get there, maybe like 10. The place is surprisingly large, but that makes sense to you all because every time you've come here, outside of going directly to your place, the entire place seems to change. almost in a labyrinthian fashion. Kind of like it's not stable, as it were. There's no defining landmarks outside of your own specific abodes, which you always seem to know how to get there. You find yourselves at these grand and audacious doors. They are coated in fine silver filigree and just jewels along the way, but not jewels in the sense of like, oh, it's a nice cut stone. Like all of the jewels embedded in here are some form of art, whether it be a finely crafted looking statuesque sort of jewel, or in the shape of an instrument, or some of them have carved into the beginnings of a story. Um, it's very interesting and gaudy, but in a borderline beautiful way. And as the manservant walks up, he opens the door and says, "Valau is expecting you. I will be on my way." The As the door opens in front of you, it opens into what appears to be pitch black.
Augustine will step in.
Okay.
Right behind her.
All right, fantastic. You both step in, and the darkness immediately disappears, replaced with what appears to be a grand, like think of the upper suites of like a condo in like Manhattan or New York, where they have an entire floor to themselves. And even though you didn't see it on the outside, you can actually see from where you're at. You can see all around her estates, the estates of Valau. Um, it's a 360 view, as if there's glass windows everywhere, but you didn't see a single window outside. And she is sitting there in what amounts to a love seat of sorts, kind of sprawled haphazardly, but very delicate, as if she planned on you walking in and seeing this very luxurious and gorgeous form laid out in front of both of you. And she says, "So, you have my time. How is it that I can assist you?"
Well, it seems as though, how do I put this? You have gone at the interest of a patron?
She doesn't give anything away really, but you see her eye kind of twitch at the corner.
Full transparency? I do not know the inner workings of his mind, but my brother seems to be intrigued enough by you that he did request a keepsake. Uh, he thinks you have beautiful hair, so that is what he asked for. A bit
Roll
of
me
your
an
hair.
roll me an insight check.
Can I also do this?
Yes, absolutely.
34.
I think
Mhm.
it's a
The Augustine
9.
rolls I know and love.
No, one. It's a 10.
All right, Reba, you notice that there's something playing across her face, but you can't quite read it. Augustine, you see exactly what it is. You see just a hairline smirk on her face as she responds directly to you, and she goes, "By any chance, this patron and brother, are they one and the same?
Yes, yeah.
And the name of this would-be admirer?"
Oh, which is not his full name, but it is a nickname she uses for him. So she is not lying, technically. She's just not giving all the information.
She looks at you and just goes, "You can give me the full first name. Can't do much without the rest of it, and it only works if I hear it come from his lips."
Elliot.
Oh, you're the sister. Very well. He smiles. The veneer of like very sultry and stoic at the same time look on her face kind of the veneer cracks as she just see a playful smile cross her face and she goes, "You're the Chevalier girl, are you?"
Yes, I honestly thought you already knew.
"Oh, I don't ask for first names. I ask for art. That being said, it looks like he plans on fulfilling my deal after all." And she turns around and she reaches behind her to this drawer and pulls out a small music box. And she goes, "I believe you will find in here that which you seek." And she hands the music box to you. She goes, "You can open it if you don't trust me, but that would hurt my feelings."
Augustine like hasn't even looked at the music box. She's just staring at Bilal. You're who made him a patron.
Me? No, no, I didn't make him a patron. I merely cut a deal after I found out that a dear friend of mine had become one.
You knew Elliot before.
Yes, I've known Elliot for years. Elliot and I were friends when I was still alive.
He owes me so many stories. Ah, whatever he's told you about me, it probably isn't true.
He's had nothing but good things to say about you. It seems that his mocking you only takes place face to face. He's right, though. You are incredibly talented, and much like myself, you were cut down far too soon.
It was my choice, though. I can
Hmm.
at least hold to that.
Well, mine was not, so lucky you.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to hear that story sometime.
Oh, maybe when there's more time. But right now, I have to prepare for our little gala later this evening. I'm amused enough to let you off the hook this one time if you choose not to come. But in the future, I absolutely require a performance.
Oh no, I'll be there. As will
Fan-
Reba.
Fantastic. Oh, I almost didn't notice you. Hello back there.
Yes, hello. I just didn't feel like a mice with the conversation, so I was kind of taking a step back.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Always, if you're invited back, always include yourself in the conversation. It makes you seem shy, which I like.
Okay, I'm married, so
Eh,
no, thank you.
She is utterly devoted to her sword.
hmm, interesting. A warrior through and through, I see. Very well. Carry on. And before you can even turn around, the area around you disappears and you find yourselves both standing in front of your individual apartments.
It worked.
Well, you might want to check.
Augustine will open it.
Okay. So as you open the box, you see inside a little parchment, and next to it, tied around it, instead of a ribbon, is what appears to be a lock of iridescent hair.
Just had to tell the truth. That almost never works out for us.
Yeah, it's I guess she likes you a lot, huh?
Or Elliot.
Or both.
Speaking of, we should go find him. I really want to make sure we have the time to focus on how you're going to look because I want to accentuate the ways that you can dance as much as I can. You're going to look phenomenal.
Okay. If you say so.
So you were told that you were told to meet Elliot at the front gate where you found him last time. So while you're heading that way, we're going to go ahead and head back over to Icarus and Rosina. Icarus, it's been dark, bud. You passed out. You start to come to. Your head hurts like hell.
Did I take psychic damage?
Yes, actually. Now that you wake up, you realize you've taken 22 psychic damage.
Yep, there it is.
All right. Care.
I look over at the Rosina. I'm like, well, that sucked.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Like biscuits. Well, I was gonna say if biscuits took a dump in my head, but the more accurate metaphor is if biscuits set up a kitchen and cooked one of his weirdly not terrible meals in there.
The phrase fireball souffle enters your mind.
Oh, actually, that does sound good. Dang it. Fireball souffle. It seems one of our old friends is involved in this somehow. I don't think you know them, actually. Probably just me.
So
It
are you
wouldn't be
going
a
to?
little kobold with cooking utensils, would it?
Well, yes, him, but I was talking more about his patron.
Oh, got it. Well, all of that being said, we should probably find clothing for the feast.
Let me see. Where's it? Yep, okay. John, I'm gonna go ahead and use my aspect of creation ability now that I have
Mhm.
it at tier 2 to create some uh, fancy clothing for myself.
Okay, fantastic. So you've created your own fancy clothing. Unfortunately, Rosina, it looks like you are on your own to find your own gown of sorts. So
Okay.
uh,
Icarus still wants to help. He just wanted to take care of that real quick.
fantastic. So what are you doing with the second shard of creation? Or shard of divinity? Sorry, that's a whole different. That's a Saturday thing. My bad.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go again.
Okay.
He doesn't know how to stop.
He has compulsion issues. We understand. Rosina, you see him just kind of reach down and pick it up again, and you see him go rigid. I need another wisdom save.
I thought
This
we were
one is
going
dirty 20.
shopping.
Dirty 20?
Yep.
Fantastic. So, uh, you do not suffer any damage. You are, for Rosina, it's 5 seconds again. But for you, the whirlwind that you saw previously slows down. This time you don't see Invars. You don't see anything like that. You actually see a bunch of hooded figures, one of them with familiar little kobold fingers, all offering up dishes to this shadowy, like aberrant creature that forms into what looks like a humanoid, a very rotund man with white shocks of hair off to the side and a chef's hat, wearing an entire outfit. And as you see this, you see that he is using a knife, a carving knife, and actually carving out what appears to be, from what you understand, you have the knowledge that he is working on a divine symbol of sorts. Um, and only one word enters your mind: ascend. As you begin to back away from this scene, your mind is filled with more words and phrases, and there's a booming voice, not jovial or fun like you're used to when the patron who shall not be named enters your head and has a joke or some gaffe of some sort. But it is a dark, menacing tone that simply says, "If you give me what I want, I will give you what you want. We will destroy the stranger together."
Okay.
And you snap back to reality. There goes gravity.
Thank you. It was bothering me that nobody else did that.
Mom's spaghetti. All right.
Icarus brushes himself off and goes, "Well, that's the thing now. Anyway, let's go shopping for you. I think I'm done doing the divine psychedelic drugs now.
Okay.
Either
Yes,
I am
Hey.
literally ascending or just walking around in a daze thinking I'm all powerful. We'll find out."
Right. Let me see here. Alrighty. Here we go. There we are.
Do we
Check
know
here.
where to go shopping?
So you know a general area. You know where the market is. There are various shops all throughout the city. If you would like to find anything specific, you can always roll an investigation or persuasion to talk to people.
Yeah. So I think Rosina's looking for like a really uh modern kind of cool gown. So I'm gonna roll persuasion, I guess,
Okay.
and try to talk to someone to figure out where the best place to get that would be.
Sure.
That is, what is that? It's a 10 on the die. So that'd be a 12.
All right. So, you walk up. You're having a hard time finding anyone. Eventually, you get led back to. Um, you go back to the bar where this kind of all started. Before you had, unfortunately, seen the crushing, or at least the end result of the crushing of Johann. Um, and you find yourself just kind of in the bar, and you just kind of like, as a last resort, just walk over to the bartender and be like, "Hey, guy, j- where can I find a outfit for the shepherd's feast?" Um, and obviously he's still wiping the same glass, as if that matters. It's literally the same one. Like, the thing you've noticed is anytime that you order drinks, he'll set that glass down off to the side and grab new ones and hand those out and go back to wiping the same glass, as if it's some weird tick that he has. And as you ask this, he just looks at you and goes, "It depends on the type of dress that you're looking for. Do you have anything particular in mind? I know basically everything that there is to know about the
Well,
town."
I was thinking of a dress that looks like, I don't know, something sort of like rock candy or like an amethyst with like jagged edges and it's really avant garde. Something that'll make a splash.
Interesting. He ponders for a moment and he stops polishing the glass and he sets it down. He turns around behind him And he walks to the back of the bar and he starts flipping through what appears to be a small box. And he pulls out a card and he goes, I don't know if this is exactly what you're looking for, but from what you describe, it's very interesting, and I think that this one would love the challenge. So he hands you a black card, and on it, it simply says the tailor. And as you touch the card, you instinctively know where to go. And I assume that that's where you're headed. So that's fine. You two start heading that way. You kind of walk through the city streets. For the most part, Icarus, you didn't touch the card, so you're kind of just following. But she seems like she's on a mission. Like she knows exactly where she's going and has said probably nothing other than, "Oh." It takes you about 20 minutes to get there, and you find yourself in front of a small shop that's made entirely of stone of varying colors. And as you walk towards the front door, it opens of its own accord. And as you walk into this shop, it's unlabeled. It doesn't have anything. It's not inviting, but it's not uninviting either. You walk in and you see sitting behind a desk is a very small half dwarf. You're not sure what the other one is, but it's much shorter than a normal dwarf, and not nearly as stocky. Um, has a very large nose, kind of bulbous. It's reminiscent of a gnome. And he turns around and simply says, "Oh, hello. I assume you're here for something special."
That's right. Hello. I'm here for a gown for the, what was it called? Shepherd's Feast?
Shepherd's Feast.
The shepherd's feast. Yes.
The Shepherd's Feast.
Fantastic. He walks around the thing, and you see him snap his fingers, and you see that he actually increases his size, and he actually becomes about average height for a human. So he's probably about 5'9", somewhere in there, 5'10", and the rest of the body is proportionate. And he goes, "May I take your measurements?"
Yes, please do.
Fantastic. And as he's going through and getting all these measurements, measuring the inseam and everything, he's actually shrinking and increasing his size in order to be the perfect size to hold the tape. All while calculating and making marks on his arm. He walks around and he goes, "Fantastic. I have your measurements. Tell me what it is that you desire to look at, to look like. Do you want to catch eyes? Do you want avant-garde? Do you want gaudy? Do you want gauche? Do you want audacious?"
Avant-garde, audacious, and eye-catching sounds great to me.
He goes, "I think I have just the gown for you. Do you have a preference on color?"
Purple.
Purple? You're in luck. Fantastic. I just need you to stay right here. You, young bear, do you need anything?
No, I'm just here to keep her company. I agree with Audacious, though. She once punched an old one in the face and walked away from it, so yeah,
All right.
she's kind of.
Fantastic. Moral support. Your tailor's not bad.
Mm, I could use lessons. I'd only just gained this power today.
Interesting. And as you sit there, you're standing there, you see these threads come out from a dark window an empty space behind him kind of shoot forward and kind of start swirling around you. And along with it, you start to see these very strange, like luminescence, not bioluminescence, but it's very luminescent in general. These lights kind of coming off of these strings, and as it kind of wraps itself around you, it's form fitting. Um, it's it's strangely, despite the fact that it's form fitting, it's very comfortable. It's snug but not tight. You could move very well in this. And as you're being enveloped in this, you feel slight weight on your shoulders as there begins to be these what appears to be like kind of like purple crystals start to line your shoulders and encroach upon the chest pieces and everything like that, creating a deep V and going down and making a long train. And all the way along this train is this beautiful, and you would think it'd be heavy, but it weighs almost nothing. Just these purple crystals that line everywhere, leaving you bare shouldered with the exception of the lace that goes along the top, covered in crystals itself. And it is exactly what you envisioned. And if you want, you can share that image in the group chat for everybody else. I can't share it because I don't have the rights to that, but it is pretty dope looking. So enjoy that, everyone. So while that's being done, it takes about 30 or 40 minutes for this magic to work and finally come out to the end product that we see here. We're going to go back to Issa. Issa, you have been sitting around probably for, I don't know, about an hour or so. And I forget what her name is. Granny. She walks up to you and goes, "Hey, I could use your help in the kitchen."
Benny?
Benny! Yes, Benny.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Not a
didn't
problem.
want to open my book. And she goes, "I need your help getting the dinner served and everything along those lines. We got some young children that just showed up today. Managed to get them away from the battlefield.
Good.
So if you don't mind helping me, we'll get your rent covered for the day." And she's just jovial and fun, and she has you helping with in the kitchen and stirring up mixing bowls, and just basically you're making like a fresh batch of Benny's brownies. And she goes, "If you're into the good stuff, come back a little bit later. I'm making a special batch for celebrations. Got to have a good time even when things are bad, and things look pretty bleak right now." But
Yeah.
so you'll be
Alright.
helping Benny with that sort of thing.
Earn a Mickey.
Whatever. Yep, exactly. Augustine
Yep.
and Riva, you find yourselves back at the front gate. And standing there is not in disguise at all, Elliot, just with a smirk on his face, saying, "Sister, did you get it?"
Of course I got it. Your old friend was more than happy to give it to me when I told her who wanted it.
Oh, that's cheating. Whatever, that's
You
fine.
never said that I couldn't.
That is good thinking. I probably should have said that, but it's not necessarily cheating in either way. Not unless I say it's cheating, but whatever. The point is, dear sister, is that Valau and I go way back, and I am working on completing a deal that she asked of me oh so many years ago when I was trying to get the power up in order to save you. You know, that whole thing. You've already slapped me for that. You can't slap me again. That's rude.
I'm not going to slap you.
Perfect. No double jeopardy. Anyway, if I might, and
Augustine will hand him the music box.
fantastic, and he opens it up and he goes, "Oh, she had to try again, didn't she?" He pulls out the letter and the hair wrapped around it. He takes the hair and he kind of does like a hand trick and it disappears. And he opens the letter and he goes, "Darling, I haven't swung that way in years, but you never know." And he just kind of tucks it in his sleeve, and he goes, "Oh, anyway, a promise is a promise." And he reaches into a bag behind him and he pulls out 2 gowns. I do not remember off the top of my head what your specifications were because I lost some of my notes in the move, so I'm sorry. But
Augustine didn't really have specifications.
oh, that's right.
But it
Never mind. I remember yours very specifically. Oh boy, do I remember yours very specifically. Riva, you can call out whatever you want this gown to be. You have it. Augustine, you agreed to have something made very special for you. Something that would bring you memories. He hands this beautiful gown over to Riva. Riva, why don't you go ahead and express what your perfect gown would look like? Explain it
I
to
think
the crowd.
well, I think it's actually more of a because what she's planning. I think she wants it more of a suit, and it's this like turquoise colored, kind of like the pants are like higher up, and it has like a short like blazer on it, and like a little bow tie, and it's just like this like long coattails as well. Um, it's a very like extravagant but like not super complicated suit, I think.
very dapper.
What
As
can I say?
as you
It's
get that, Elliot reaches back into the bag and goes, let's be honest here. I couldn't forget about her. And he reaches into his bag and he pulls out a scabbard. And he goes, I believe this will fit perfectly. And he hands it to you, Riva.
I appreciate it. I'll-
It is a just a it for all intents and purposes, the outside of it looks like a very nicely made, like black leather wrapped with lines of crimson kind of swirled in between the wrapping. And he goes, not yet. And he looks like he's looking at you, but he's looking slightly down. And he goes, anyway, Augustine, dear sister, I had something made very special for you. Something that I feel is both you and what you represent. And as he reaches into his bag, he pulls out what appears to be a combination of. Oh, great. Now I have to look this up. I need a reference. My bad. Hold on. 1 second, everybody, while I do this. Should have had this up, but I didn't think about it until right now because I had forgotten about this part. 1 second.
Fashion is loading.
Yes, fashion is loading. Here we go.
And of all people, you had to know that I would be the one who would be like, I want to know what this fucking looks like.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's not it. Interesting. All right. Bear with me for a moment. Ugh.
No, bear with us.
Bear
Bear
is
with
with
us.
you. What do you need?
Bears with us.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. I just needed this reference. So, as he pulls this out, you it's not obvious to anyone else except you, Augustine. But it's reminiscent of a suit of armor, but done delicately, as if it is both meant to protect. It looks like it's meant to protect but it's done so elegantly that the sleeves flow, and they have like the hangy bits, like that hang down here a little bit, a
Hmm.
little bit of the bat wing, as it were. Um, and it's laced with kind of what appear to be like small green runes. And as you look at this, it's elegant, it's black, it's got a little bit of green accent to it with these runes all throughout it. And the second you see this dress, only one thing enters your mind, and that is fate. This dress is both elegant and beautiful, and it is designed very heavily influenced by the armor that you saw fate in as you collapsed to the ground when you gave up your life for hers.
Trauma. I think Augustine actually tears up a little bit. Um, yeah, she's just gonna hug Elliot really quick.
See, darling sister, I'm not a bad brother. And he
I know
hugs you
you're
back.
not. You're just a pain in my ass.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, also, before you go, we
Mm-hmm.
need a gossip session. I need to know more about Bilal.
What about her?
Any things that might help me not get kicked out of her home would be great.
See, I don't know if I can help with that because the entire purpose of me doing this is to help her cheat.
Okay, then what is the goal of this, really? What are you doing for her?
Well, you see, when she died, everything that was her evaporated. Nothing. However, someone managed to save a piece of her. But the magic ritual that's being used needed something physical from her person in order to. And he looks around like real shifty, like he just whispers in your ear, bring her back from the dead.
Ah, so you know how to do that.
Oh, I don't. No, 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 no. This is a favor for a friend of a friend. I do this favor for her, someone else does the thing. I don't, sis, it's been like 20 years. Haven't been in the Shadelands in probably 18. I left. There was no reason for me to be there anymore.
But it was again.
Can't break certain rules.
No, I mean if anyone finds a way to resurrect me, would
Mm-hmm.
you come back?
Oh, darling sister, of course I would. I'd be right there when you came back.
But oh shit, I got my hopes up. All right. What happens when she gets resurrected though?
Don't know. And, sis, this is the part where you might slap me. I don't care.
Well, no, because if she simply vanishes and leaves a power gap, that means someone can step in.
I mean, maybe, but is there really a power disparity here right now? From my understanding, the godless monarchy's got this on lock.
No, but sitting where she sits, she has plenty of people willing to do favors for her. And I think that
That's
could be very useful.
that's true, and she can utilize that as leverage for bringing people back.
Hmm. So could whoever steps up after her as well.
That's true. If you're planning on doing that, you need a lot more magic, dear sister, but you're welcome to try.
I always play the long game, you know that. How long did it take me to fucking figure out everything with you? 200
200
something years?
years.
Yeah.
And technically, the only reason you didn't is because I wasn't allowed to tell you. And I had to keep it secret.
Well, I'm glad I figured it out. But Valau, last
Yes.
question. Is she an actual friend?
If by friend you mean someone I've been with in the past, yes.
No,
If
I don't.
by you can trust her, she's a fae, darling. Absolutely not.
You know what? That's fair. Also, did not need to know that you fucked her. Did not need to know that.
Hey, you can assume a lot of things, but that one is accurate.
Assume you just told. Okay.
What? You expect me
Mm.
to display shame? I
No,
have
you don't
none,
know
dear
what that
sister.
is.
No, I don't.
Never have had any. All right.
Any,
Well, we
but I
should
do have
probably
to be
find the
going.
other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoy
It,
the dresses. You too, he says, looking down past your face, Riva, and simply goes, good luck doing whatever you're doing. And he turns and walks around a corner, and all you feel is a slight gust of wind, and he is gone.
love you. And Augustine turns back to Reba. Literally everyone is rooting for you and your wife. I really need you to start seriously thinking about names, okay?
Uh, oh, I I got some information. I want to talk to Sweat about this first, though. Um, but I don't know if it's gonna be too much of a problem anymore. Is that in a good way?
Okay. Also, you are dancing tonight, right?
Yes, I guess. I assume you still want me to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there. Will you
Wonder where the other are.
Yeah. What does Issa even do now? She's so old. Isn't she just sitting
Speaking of
around?
Issa, maybe we should. I vote that we find her first. I have some questions for her, and she may be amenable to you hearing it, or you'll respect our privacy. But I don't know if she would want the newer people to know whatever is going on.
Okay.
Hey,
Is something going on?
Yes.
That's all you gotta give me?
all right.
Her
Yes.
face came off.
And that's where we're going to leave you two for a second. And we're going to head back over to Icarus and Rosina. Rosina, your dress gets finished up, and it is exactly what you hoped it would be. It is stunning and gorgeous. And as it finishes the last thread, the little guy goes, "For a dress of this caliber, the only thing I ask is if anybody asks you who did it, you give them that card."
Done. This is it, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You sure you don't need anything else? Holdenkind?
Do you have anything that can help me make a dramatic entrance into the Shepherd's Feast?
Yes, roaring.
Fair enough.
If
I will definitely come back if I have another event to attend.
Of course, of course. My door is always open as long as you hold a card. And as quickly as that happens, you feel the door kind of like the room around you kind of slip further away, and then you find yourself facing the edge of a rock face building.
At that moment, Icarus sneezes and is like, "Is someone talking about us?"
All right,
It's weird.
so um Rosina and Icarus, where are you two planning on heading off to? I know that you don't have anything specifically planned for the day, so are you going to call it a day? It is
Um,
later in the, I guess, the night-ish. The hourglass is almost empty, as it were, at the timekeepers. Not the timekeepers. Yes, the timekeepers.
Is the feast tonight?
No, you have, from your understanding, at least a day or three, a few days.
Okay.
You just didn't want to do last-minute shopping.
I think Rosina will call it a day.
yeah, Icarus is gonna call it a day, but he's not gonna head back to Valau. He's just gonna move into a cave in the middle of a park or something.
Okay. So you, since you all like you wander back, we'll go ahead and with you, Icarus, real quick. You wander back towards the park, and as you get there, since there's only one of you now, the shifty fellas that were there, you hear as you're approaching the park, as it were, you hear the cooing of more pigeons, and you hear like a commotion up in front of you, where it's just like, off of my trash can, and you hear like the coo suddenly like cut short as you see like this halfling just like smashing birds with a cane. Um, and then there's like another one that's like holding up a trash can lid, being like, "This is my land! Get out of here!" and just stares at you with one giant eye and one small one. There's no caves here, bear. You want to join our people? Just like holding a stick at you.
You know what? Sure. Uh, I've faced eldritch abominations, and you are strangely almost as terrifying as them, and I appreciate that.
Fantastic! Grab yourself a can. We take out. And he just turns around and starts beating the hell out of pigeons again. But there's just like more of them, some of them like weirdly glowing. So you spend a significant portion of your time just beating the hell out of pigeons with this crazy old man and his cadre of wayward children. Some of them being teenagers, some of them being like, like maybe like, I don't know, 10 years old, uh, all the way up to like, 20 somethings. Just all of them out of their mind. Like they're not all here and you're not sure what it is, but it's fun. So enjoy that. Augustine and
I'm
Riva.
I'm gonna become the god of the hobos and the lost people.
Augustine and Riva. We come back to you two. Riva, you've just been told that a face had come off. Where you headed?
I guess
Do
to.
do we know where she's staying?
I
Yes,
think she's told
you
us.
know
Yeah.
that she stays at Benny's.
Benny's.
So we want to go talk to her.
Yes.
I don't know why you're asking me. You're the ones making the choice.
Well, I'm asking Augustine.
Okay.
Yes. We want to talk to her.
All right.
The face thing is not normal.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen her in 20 years. You know, maybe it's something she just does now.
Okay.
But it's worth, it's worth asking, I suppose.
Yeah, we're gonna go find Issa and ask about her face.
All right. So you both kind of assume that Benny's is the best place to check first. You get there probably as Issa, you are cleaning up in the kitchen after having fed everyone. You're helping Benny. Benny's sitting there, and she kind of walks outside and sees, your two companions, and you two walk up, and Benny walks outside and says, "Oh, hey, you looking for a place to stay? Did you finally give up on Valau?"
No, actually, we're just here looking for our friend Issa.
Oh, okay. She's helping out in the kitchen right now. Go right on in. And
Thank you.
Benny just goes outside and just starts beating like a rug, like, you know, ghost dust. I don't know. Getting ghost dust out of there. So you two walk in and you see Issa kind of hunched over and scrubbing some plates. There you go.
Issa,
Hey, you guys actually just missed dinner. I'm sure we can find something for you, though. What's up?
no, I was thinking that we should have a talk.
I mean, are you sure? Because Benny's brownies are really good.
I am really hungry.
I'm-
I'll take some food.
Smart. Smart. I'll scavenge stuff and find food for them.
Okay. So the brownies, like as you're kind of scavenging some of the leftovers, the ding on the stove goes off, and Benny walks back in and goes, "Ah, yes, my special brownies." And she pulls them out, and sets them on the table. She's like, "Feel free if you like."
How special are they?
She
you
grabs
have
one
to
and just
ask.
starts eating it, and she just smiles.
Reva's
She's like,
chowing down.
"Yeah."
I
Okay.
There are kids in the house, so
Augustine
they're not
just
as
pats
special as
Reba
you
on the
think,
shoulder.
Sorry, what was that, Augustine?
Sorry.
Augustine just pats Reba on the shoulder because she's pretty sure those are wheat brownies.
They're
Pretty
definitely
sure.
laced with something. Yes. And that is why they are served after everyone else eats. This is Benny's brownies. Reva, I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution save.
Okay, that's a 2 plus 1. 3.
Everything is super cool. It's just groovy as hell. Do with that what you will. Augustine, you and Issa were talking.
Is it pretty quiet
Yeah,
around
yeah,
us, or
it's just you're just in the back kitchen. There's a table sitting there where the brownies are on. Benny kind of sees that like you have this look on your face. She goes, "Oh, don't mind me." She grabs another brownie and just walks out of the room.
okay? I don't think that Reva will remember this conversation, regardless of if you wanted to hear it or not.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about their face falling off.
Thank you, Reva.
Wow, we're just ripping the band-aid off of that. All right.
I would normally not try, but Issa, you're my best friend, and your face slid off. I need an explanation.
Who are you?
Did you just say, "Who am I"?
I said, do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Why did your face do that?
It does that now?
Why?
I mean, technically, it's always done that. It's just never really like happened in front of you.
Reva, do you want me to do the most spot on Frankie impression and just keep asking you why? Or Issa, do you want me to keep doing a Frankie impression and just ask why over and over again, or are we going to progress?
Oh, you picked a hell of a choice on that.
How is Frankie, by the way?
Been better, been worse. Grand scheme of things, probably not much worse, but yeah, it's been messy up there.
That's what I gathered.
Mm-hmm.
Messy for you too, I take it.
Yeah, for a while. A long while. Isn't really now, but I mean, we're dead now, so what do the dead care?
Well, I care what happened to you while I was gone.
I mean, I died. None of y'all were there.
Who'd you die
I
to?
truly do.
Who killed you?
Uh, that's where this gets tricky.
Continue.
So groovy, like, go on.
I'm like, yeah, I need like half the tray.
I'm like pausing to be obtuse, and it's just like fully vibing with Reva. This is great. Yeah. What do you want to know?
What happened to you,
That's
Issa?
a good
And
question.
I can tell something's different. I've been able to tell since you got here.
Mm-hmm.
I understand keeping your walls up with most people. I get that, and you know that I do, but we went through hell together.
We eh, we fucked around and found out in a city of warlocks for like 6 months at the out.
Is that
It
not
was
enough for you
hell,
to be our
but like
friend?
20 years happened after that. Like, what do you want here?
Augustine, roll insight.
Okay. Do I get advantage because she's my bestie?
No.
No. You fucking don't.
Now, Issa, I need
Mm-hmm.
you. I'll tell you what I need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
34.
I mean,
I don't know.
whatever you're gonna tell me, it's not gonna fucking beat that, so.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and assume that no matter what it is, um,
I couldn't beat that
you,
with 2 nat 20s.
you, there is not just something amiss. She's being purposely evasive.
I seem to remember someone telling me that it wasn't needed to hide behind the mask.
Oh, this isn't a mask. Like, this is fully meat. Like, wearing a meat mask for this long would have been awful.
Why does your meat fall off sometimes?
Why does
You
your meat fall off sometimes? You fight constantly.
It doesn't. Unless it's cut off, but that doesn't really
I
count.
took damage. Yes, things fall off when you take damage.
My face has never
What?
fallen off.
I mean, it's still early days.
What early
You
days?
haven't gotten to do anything with acid yet. Like, it's entirely possible your face is gonna fall off next. We don't know what we're fighting down here.
I I don't know if I have a face to fall off, and we're not like people. We're just like ghosts. You know?
As clever as you implying I was talking about your skin is, you know what I'm talking about. You're hiding things from us. That is the same as wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Take off the mask.
Nah, I'm good.
Are we not your friends anymore, Issa?
Technically, no.
Oh,
Just a bummed out hi Reva. Oh man.
I have such a short list of friends, and you just made it shorter.
Can I insight check that?
What?
That Reva
Reva's
doesn't
set.
have any friends.
No. No. Issa shortening Reva's list of friends.
It wouldn't be something you could really insight. I mean, that's more of a Reva thing. Reva believes that Issa was a friend, and now that Issa is saying that
No.
they're not friends, or that
I'm
okay,
trying to
yeah,
figure out if Issa's saying that they're actually not friends. If Issa means that.
yeah. Go ahead and insight that. I understand. I know what that means.
35.
That is probably the most honest thing Issa said in this entire conversation.
I mean, I haven't lied yet, but that is
Yeah.
arguably the most honest thing I've said.
I never thought I would see the day that you would actually be afraid.
Eh, I mean,
I mean, if you weren't afraid of our reactions, then why hide?
this isn't just for me.
Huh.
Who else?
It's been important for a really, really long time that this is how it is. Which, like you guys said, it's been 20 years.
I'm not
You
going to make
said
you roll.
that.
I'm not going to make
After
you roll
6
that,
months of
Augustine.
knowing me, what do you know what happened about my next 20?
No, I don't know. You're just being very dodgy, and
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. You don't trust us anymore. I'm sorry, Issa.
What were you saying, DM?
Oh no, I was going to say that this is just more blatant honesty, but it's still veiling something. Issa is nothing if not technically telling the truth.
What? Will you walk her, please? Thank you. Sorry, I'm asking my girlfriend to take my dog out real quick.
No worries. Augustine just kind of shrugs, turns to Reba. I mean, it's insanity to keep trying the same thing and expecting a different outcome. So I'm not going to waste my breath on someone who clearly doesn't think we are worth it.
I mean, you guys are the ones keeping assuming I'm Issa.
I don't know. Maybe we wouldn't know what you are if you actually said anything.
And you know very well that that's how you've been presenting yourself to us.
And yet, when I first got here, immediately tackle hugged by you, immediately called Issa by you. I haven't said my name once this entire time.
I'm sorry, but if it looks like Issa, sounds like Issa, and talks like Issa, it's I don't know. You know, well, who am I to assume you're not Issa? You didn't deny it.
Wasn't convenient to.
Whatever. I'm done. I have a dance to get to. I'm out of here.
Reba, you find it hard to walk. Like you try to stand up and you just sit right back down. Far
I
too
gotta
groovy to
get
have
my
my butt on this seat.
You know what, Issa? I want this table. You should leave.
I live here.
I don't care.
That's fair.
Augustine stands up and helps Reva to her feet. Actually, let me check something. Might be able
Okay.
to help with this.
I
One
guess I
second.
don't know if I'm in much capacity to dance tonight. I had a few too many brownies.
I do have it. I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration.
All right. You are fine, Reva. Like suddenly you're like full faculties, you're back.
Oh wow. Okay. I just pick up the tray of brownies. I'm taking these for later.
The grooviest I've ever felt.
As
Issa,
they're leaving, I'm gonna say to both of them, I mean, she was right, you know. You guys were good friends. But she died. You weren't there. I was. And we needed a general.
Augustine stops, turns around, walks back over to is Issa, quote unquote Issa, sitting or standing?
Probably standing, just finishing up dishes. No reason to be idle in a kitchen.
Just walks up to her, looks her dead in the eye. I don't care what you think you do or do not know. Do not speak to us about our history with our friends when you have the audacity to wear her fucking face and let us believe we had her back. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are. All I know about you is that you are fucking cruel. I may be a bitch, but I wouldn't give someone false hope. Just
I didn't.
turns and strides over to Reva. Shut the fuck up, yes you did. You knew we thought you were her. You fucking knew.
Yep.
and
That's
while we're
kind of the
talking
whole
about
point
it,
of me being her, is that people would think I would be her.
well, now I know you're not my friend, and you're deciding to wear the face of her. I have a lot less reasons to not kill you. So maybe let's, keep it
After
down
all
on the
that
attitude.
after all that time of making sure that we weren't hitting children.
We both know this wasn't
Real
you.
comfortable with hitting me now.
I have a dance, so I'm not gonna bloody my hands right now. But
Frankie?
you best watch yourself.
No, Reva, wait. Frankie! Are you
Got
fucking
there in
wearing
the
it as
end,
a
didn't
kid?
we?
Augustine fully does that thing where they reach up like they want to strangle someone, like the handshake in the air and everything. Like,
We don't hit children, Augustine.
I'm sorry, is Frankie someone I should know?
Frankie was a nephew of sorts. Frankie is the ones that I had to keep telling Unya to stop hitting.
I'm sorry, Frankie. I didn't find you important enough to remember.
That's okay. I didn't have many of those same thoughts towards you.
I'm sure. Well, Frankie,
Well, now that's all in the open, and Isa's going to forcibly shove her fingers up and just face full claw off. And underneath there is a 20-something gender neutral but objectively more of the masculine side because it has been a very long time in an old female meat suit. Longer brownish hair, kind of cheeky looking. Definitely the little kid that Augustine remembers, but very much an adult. And they're going to pull that that glass dragon tooth out of their mouth, stick it onto the earring, where there's definitely been a spot this whole time. Now, do we want to have a different conversation?
It feels like we could have just had this conversation if you started with that. You're so dodgy, and
The
then
fact
you
that
did it
you
at the
don't
end.
remember me, or the fact that I was absolutely made of bastards since day one, a little bit your fault.
I'm sorry, I don't care about my friend's nephew I met like twice.
And you expected Issa to care about you after 6 months and, drop
Sure.
out for 20 years?
I don't fucking know. I don't know you. Stop talking like
will.
you know me, alright?
Augustine's gonna smack Frankie upside the back of the head.
How quickly we gave up our principles the second that I
You're
hit
not the
legal
child
age.
anymore. You're not the child anymore. You can defend yourself. What the fuck? I really thought Issa was back.
I mean, that's
That was
kind of
fucked up.
been the goal. Do you know
So
what
there-
happens
Fucked up.
to a resistance when their general dies and there are enemies around? We don't have time for morale loss. And I can do this fun little trick.
So there's like an Issa, there's a real Issa somewhere around here.
No,
And it's not you.
absolutely not. If there was anyone who deserved to die of natural causes and just carry on with her days, it was her. And she did. She might honestly be the only person out of anyone y'all knew that actually managed to die of natural causes. Which honestly surprised the shit out of us too. As you can imagine, it's a little weird, hanging out in camp, thinking about your general and how fucking cool she is and how great it is to actually be working with somebody who is caring about the people in the city. All of the people who are in the middle of the fighting. And then all of a sudden going, oh, I wonder what Auntie Issa's. Oh, shit. Because memories of her don't show up until she's dead. And that was a fun realization for about 8 or 9 of us in camp. And we all needed to keep a general going.
So, just to clarify on how that works, you all remember making a deal with a very specific individual that when you made those deals, other than those that had made deals with them, everyone forgot your name until your death.
Oh god. My mom remembers me?
This is what
That's
we
my
would take
favorite
away from any
realization
legacy
so
of
far.
God.
Oh fuck, she's gonna be so angry. What? I'm sorry, this is completely off topic.
No,
I
just
thought it was
process that
forever.
as
What
well
do
as
you
you
mean
need to.
you remembered her how she died? Oh fuck. Okay. This has been a very long day, and I don't know if I can handle this. But
Mhm.
I want to say, the next time you try to throw shit my way, please don't, because I will kick your ass, and I will have no qualms about it.
Fair enough.
Augustine leans against the counter by Frankie. So it was bad.
It was bad. It was worse after Fate left, but it was bad before. And it did not get better.
What happened with that? Fate leaving?
Yeah.
I died so that
honestly-
she could give the city another chance.
And I mean, to her credit, there that first year, kind of into the next one, she tried. Or at least she was willing to put some effort into it, but nobody who saw her heart wasn't in it. There wasn't much left in the city for her to want to save. She tried, but she left. She had her reasons to leave, I assume. Duties and all that. But yeah, none of that matters to the people on the ground. Celestial responsibilities don't mean much when your people are dying.
It's like there was no winning.
I mean, there's never winning in war. There's just mitigating damage, and ultimately that's what Issa was doing. She was fighting against the Accursed Guard, with the Accursed Guard, just whoever allies she could find when she could find them. And yeah, here we are. Out of curiosity, when we went through her shit, was the violin yours?
Yeah.
Ah. If it makes you feel any better, I think one of my friends has it. She's a hell of a musician. You would like her.
Yeah, I didn't have time to really think of too much else to leave behind, but I figured it would be a nice reminder to Issa. Remember to relax every now and again.
Mm. I mean, she was a garbage player. Like, I think it was genuinely best for the entire camp when that ended up going to somebody else. But God, like 2 cats just screaming about their tails.
Doesn't
Absolutely
surprise me.
awful.
So
Oh.
we're going to go ahead and leave Augustine and Frankie, who has been revealed, chatting while Riva is indignantly deciding whether or not she's going to eat another brownie. Standing in the doorway, headed one way or the other. We're going to head back to Icarus. Just to throw a little splash of different here. You you've learned that these folks are not all there. You're having fun beating up birds, but the birds keep coming, and you're not sure what that means. But they tell you they tell you little bits and pieces of it. They're like, animals ain't supposed to be here. This happens every damn cycle, every damn cycle. There's always these damn pigeons. Stupid wizard, pigeon wizard bastard. Just like muttering under his breath, this old like cranky, crotchety old bastard, just like, man, if I had the wizard in my hands, I'd take him until he popped like glow stick. And then he's just beating the hell out of more birds. And then they're like, if you get the high score, I'll give you the good bit. And he just beats the hell out of another one. So you continue that path. Rosina, you've found your way back to the estate that you were in, which I believe was the Academian estate, correct? I don't remember
Yes.
exactly what it was. It was the one where they're very like logical. So you go back there. What do you do when you go back?
So, Rosina kind of sits in her room and realizes that she's way out of her league here in this academia place that she's living in. And she thinks to herself, if I want to ascend to godhood like Inbars did, I can't be wasting my time with this. And she collects her things and is going to move to Benny's.
So this happens probably. You'll get there. You'll end
Oh,
up
you're coming
walking.
at the best time.
Yeah, you're coming at the best time. So you actually walk up to the door and you see a very indignant Riva walking out. And that is where you start. You'll walk in. Benny's just outside, just kind of eating a brownie and looks over and goes, Oh, hi. Here.
Oh, thank you. I eat it.
Oh, ooh. Probably should have just taken a nibble. That's fine.
Oh,
I,
Yeah, they're
it was
pretty
tasty.
strong stuff.
I need you to make Tom safe.
It's a 19 on the die.
All right. You are fine, actually. You're like, oh, different taste, not too bad. But you do get a little bit of oh, this is, you know what? I feel good. I feel good. Like you were like kind of in a weird mind space because of this whole it's very complicated. Math is stupid. I hate books. So you walk up, Benny's like,
Yes.
"Oh, you looking for a place to stay? I got plenty of room. You want to go in there and help?" Looks in. Not Issa. Do the dishes?
What? I mean, I'll help with the dishes. Issa's not there?
Nope.
Oh, she must have gone out. Okay.
Nope. Needs another brownie.
Oh god, I'm living in the perfect house.
That's strange. So I see Reva leaving.
You see,
Good fucking luck with him.
very, very indignant. So you walk into Augustine leaning up against kind of a countertop with this individual you've not seen before, standing next to her washing dishes, and kind of like just kind of an arrogant smirk on their face. That hasn't changed since they were a child. You don't recognize this person at all. Although there are flashes, like the second you see this individual, like there's like a momentary flash as if you saw a younger version of them when you were perusing the city, but you never actually stopped and talked to them at all. They look familiar, like very vaguely, but not someone you actually know.
Huh. That's weird. Hi, Augustine. I didn't expect to see you here.
Yes, just catching up with someone.
Okay. Who's your friend?
This is Frankie. They, they're
Hi.
related
You
to my
you
best
would
friend.
remember me with Issa's face. It's a thing.
Okay, I wasn't going to.
It's a
Okay.
full process situation right now. I don't know this one. I don't have anything to keep from them.
Okay, so you were wearing a different face.
Yeah. It's a thing I can do.
Wow.
They are who
That's
we thought
interesting.
was Etha.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I'm moving in. I've had enough with the math nerds.
Oh, awesome. If you stay on this side of the house, it's going to be quieter. A lot of the kids are in the other side, which great if you like kids. You need to capital L like kids though, because there's a lot of them.
Oh, I'm not that person. I think
That's
I'll stay on the quieter side.
That's smart. Yeah, you'll
You
like it
see,
here.
this is
Everybody's
why
really
I'm
nice.
with Below, because I capital D dislike most kids. I guess some were okay, but
No, this kid's kind of a dick.
Aw, you say the sweetest things under duress.
All right. So, Icarus, after about, I don't know, a few hours of fighting birds, a seemingly endless supply of pigeons, some of them glowing and exploding, coming from Exori's belfry off in the distance, kind of going through the wrong places. You're kind of like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done with this. This is nonsense. You decide, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go rest. I'm going to go see if I can find where everyone else is. You did all have a conversation about potentially having a drink later. Reva, or rather Augustine, I don't know what you're doing, Reva. We'll get to you in a second, but Augustine, you have about like maybe 20 minutes until you need to be ready for the gala. Reva, the
well,
same with you if you decide to go.
I think Polly's heading that way, anyways.
Okay.
Frankie, I will be questioning you later. I have a gala I need to get to, and I do not want to disappoint below. So, Rosina, it was wonderful to see you. We should go
It's
shopping
good to see you too.
sometime.
I'd like that.
So,
Yes,
uh,
you have.
so just for like a continuity thing, Rosina, there's a wristband or whatever that you were given that basically, if you've ever seen like the Flash or whatever, like it pulls your dress into it and then you can activate it and the dress comes back out. So you're in your normal clothes right now. I wouldn't want you to be
Oh,
wandering around in such a pretty dress. So
okay.
yeah, so it's not there right now. Um, just to kind of make that make sense about why she would ask you to go hang out and shop. Um, Perfect. Sorry for interrupting there. Go ahead and finish, Augustine.
You have a wonderful complexion. I would love to find ways to compliment that, but I do need to go. The gala is important, and it takes me at least 15 minutes to get ready on a good day.
Well, good luck at the gala.
I don't need luck. I make my own. And she kind of like just turns and doesn't skip off, but kind of like has a bit of a more of a kick in her step, I guess, as she's following Reva because she actually is excited to go to a gala.
Okay. So Icarus, you make it probably about 15 minutes later after Reva and Augustine have left. Um, you find your way there. You see Rosina at the at Benny's. Um, we'll give you a second to catch up here real quick. You walk up on them, including this individual whom you don't know. Um, Kind of at this point, dishes are done. You're probably both kind of hanging out front, sitting on the bench or whatever, maybe partaking in brownies, maybe not. It's your choice. There were a couple left after Reva like ran off with the rest of the tray.
No way that little old lady was just making one batch.
No, she pulls another one out the oven.
Please tell me that's her magical item. She just has an oven that perpetually makes those brownies.
No, no, no. It's just a normal oven. She's just really good at what she does.
And she's got a very particular supplier.
I know a guy who works in the market.
Hey, Rosina.
Hi, Icarus. Are you doing more
so-
drugs in the park?
No, the hobos have that part covered. We may want to
Oh,
eventually look into why there are so many pigeons, because even I'm concerned, and yeah, this this
huh.
is this is weird with a capital W.
I wonder if they're edible with a capital E.
Well, you'd have to ask the hobos that. I think they were just smashing them, and I think they kept getting absorbed, and some of them were glowing, so they may be um, magically radioactive or something. I don't know.
It'd be weird if a pigeon could be possessed down here. Like,
That would be
can you
weird.
be possessed if you're dead?
Um,
Benny's
It's a
just
deep
like
question.
Benny just speaks up and goes, I mean, yeah, kinda.
Huh. Cool.
Do you want a brownie?
They're really good.
Sure.
Con save.
Okay.
Frankie, are you partaking?
Oh, dude, I assume that I already failed my con save on this.
All right,
Like,
fantastic.
I'm not
You are
even
super
bothering to
groovy.
roll. I know what these do.
That's a 21.
All right.
Weed
You are
brownies do
also just
nothing.
yeah, you still feel it. It's just not the heavy buzz, right? So you
Yeah.
three kind of end your time there, kind of just
Good.
being groovy and talking about life, or rather the lack thereof it that you have. Augustine and
Um,
Reva, you find yourselves walking back to the to Valau. which is weird to say because you were talking to Valau inside of Valau about Valau. But you walk back to Valau, and when you get there to where it's supposed to be, it's an empty space. And all you see is just a bunch of very confused artists looking around.
Augustine, it's been a very long day, and now there's not even a place to go to. I think I really just might check out, you know? Might go eat a few brownies, you know, and just chill in my room.
That's what happens when she gets resurrected.
And Reba,
Everything that is her.
yeah. So Reba, you say that and then immediately realize, oh wait, my estate is also gone.
I think you see Riva fully realize that, and just like a wave of emotions go over her face, and she sort of looks down. I'll kill someone if I have to go back to that place with that guy. Augustine, I can't go back there. Do you understand? I will
And-
freak out.
And that
Wait.
is where we'll pick up back in 2 weeks when we come back for the next episode of Red to Black. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget to check out the website, biscuit10rpg.com. Support me there or on Ko-fi. Check out Drive Through RPG on the 18th. We'll be releasing First Gate, The Legend of the Shroud. Thank you all for coming, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow with City of Illumination. Session, God knows what. How are we still alive? Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.